All right, so the 2026 NFL draft is soon. In fact, it's actually in, 5 days. So we're going to be going ahead and we're going to be doing a mock draft right here. So let's start off with the number one overall pick. It's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Um, it's pretty obvious. He won the Heisman, won the Natty. He's I would say he's not as good as the quarterbacks in the past years, I think. Like, I think I would have him behind Cam Ward. I'd also have the both of them behind the, what was it, 2024 NFL draft class, top 3 quarterbacks. But they need a quarterback. It's a no-brainer. It's just going to happen. So number 2 is where you get more interesting. So we're going to go for a little bit of more predictive. And number 2, it's been Arvel Reese for quite a while until, like, I think it was this week where all the mock analysts, all like the reporters are going David Bailey. And if I were the Jets, who I don't think are a good run franchise, I think they would go with the worst player here in David Bailey. He can't defend the run at all, and I think he's got bend issues as well, but he's a great pass rusher. He's probably the best pass rusher in this draft right here. And Arvel Reese, we're gonna go here at 3 to the Arizona Cardinals. They need someone alongside Josh Sweat. He's gonna do that right now. And Arvel Reese, he has the highest potential, I would say. He's not right now. He even said it himself, like he didn't really like practice or like do um edge rushing like practices or like prepare that way. He was kind of like a hybrid linebacker pass rusher type, but he has the highest potential. So that's what we're gonna do here. Number 4 is where you can go in a variety of directions, and there's also thoughts of a trade up, but I really don't like doing trades in mock drafts because they're so hard to predict, right? So number 4, you need to give Cam Ward weapons. Who do they have right now? Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. I mean, they're not bad running backs by any means, but Jeremiah Love would be a home run player. Like every single running back, I think that's been drafted in like the top 16 have been like. I'm trying to think back to one. Yeah, like nearly every single one. You think of Jameer Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, I believe, Ezekiel Elliott. All these guys have been drafted really high as running backs. They only go that high if they're really good. And that's exactly what Jeremiah Love is. However, you do think about positional value because what? The top running back's getting paid 15 million a year, and that's exactly probably what you're going to give him. So you might want to go edge rusher. They did bring in Jermaine Johnson, I think it was, uh, in a trade, but edge rusher is not off the board here. However, I think Larava Sala, he likes the more long arm edge rushers, and and in his scheme he kind of is just missing that pure edge rusher. Which if David Bailey fell here, I would take him, but since he's not really there, we're not gonna take Ruben Bain. So we're gonna go ahead and take Jeremiah Love here. Now at number 5, we got the New York Giants, who have needs at linebacker. Their safety's better, room's better, but they do need safety. They need someone alongside Malik Neighbors, who's coming off an ACL tear. So like they also do need offensive line, which John Harbaugh has John Harbaugh, right? Yeah, it is John Harbaugh, yeah, has mentioned before. So we can go a variety of directions. We're gonna go Sonny Styles. They don't need edge or D line at all, But there's talks of Dexter Lawrence leaving. They can go Francis Mauigoa, Caleb Downs. Mauigoa is likely gonna move to the inside. So we gotta think here. Who are we gonna go here? And I think because it is a horror ball, we're gonna build the trenches up. Now number 6, we got the Cleveland Browns. They need quarterback. Obviously, there's none here. Honestly, the best option here is Carnell Tate. They do need O line. However, they do have the 24th overall pick, so I believe they can grab an O lineman there. And it's not like, how do I? Yeah, let me filter real quick. It's not like there's bad options. I like Maxi Hunter, Caleb Loam was cool, but after that, it's a huge drop off. But here again, look, you got a good couple of options here. So I think they're gonna take the bet and wait until then and grab who a lot of people think is the best running wide receiver in the draft in Carnell Tate. He's I think he had a zero point 0.0 contested catch drop rate. He was a second receiver, wide receiver 2 I should say, in the Ohio State offense. But that's because they have freaking a generational talent in Jeremiah Smith. And Emeka Bukas, hey, same thing. He was kind of like that wide receiver 2 last year, and look at what happened to him when he got into the league. He was pretty good, and but then he got injured, obviously. So and then he kind of didn't do as well then. But there was a stretch where people were saying he was amazing and he was gonna win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we're gonna go Carnell Tate here. Now at number 7, the Washington Commanders, they did bring in a good amount of edge help. Let me just check real quick because I remember they brought in a good amount. Yeah, so if we look here, they brought in a good amount of players and a good amount of edge rushers too. Clavon Chase on Odafe I think was a probably an overpay. He's not really that edge one. He's good as an edge two. I don't know how to say his name. Clavon Chase on. He's pretty decent as well. So, but you look at this. It's only Odafe who's in a 1 year. And Charles Man, as a Chiefs fan, he was gone after his ACL tear. He was non-existent basically, and so you have an edge two who you signed for a 4 year deal, and everyone else is kind of just gone after this year. So edge rusher is not off the board, is what I'm trying to say. Even though they did bring in a good amount, we could go Ruben Bain Jr. right here, and that might be what I want to do. So if Jeremiah Love was here, I think this would be the floor for Jeremiah Love. I think he would definitely be going here. There's also a chance to go grab Makai Lemon or Jordan Tyson, who just ran yesterday, I think it was, and people said his injury wasn't a concern anymore from how he performed. He just ran routes. So you could go wide receiver as well. And if you look at the Washington Commanders, I don't think they got. I mean, we're only doing first round mock, but I think they don't got a second rounder from what I remember. So I think the play here is edge rusher or wide receiver. And I think, you know what? Grab Makai Lemon, man. Makai Lemon is probably, there's a good chance he's the best wide receiver in the draft coming out. He is a yak guy. He doesn't really drop the ball either, and he's not the biggest, fastest, and strongest, but he just knows how to get open. And that's kind of what's NFL has been shifting to. No one really cares about that pure speed anymore. You think about Jackson Smith and Jigba, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Both, they're not elite physicality traits, but they're just good players and know how to get open. Now we got number 8 with the Saints. Why not take a look at what they've done in free agency? Because I honestly can't remember. I know they brought in the running back, the Travis Etienne. That's how you say his last name. So let's take a look. I don't think they really grabbed any edge rusher. Yeah, they didn't really. From what I remember, they were. Yeah, and they do need that edge. However, I do know they need DB help as well. Justin Reed is not that amazing. They don't really got so. And if Carnell Tate was here, I would go Carnell Tate. But since he's gone, I think the decisions between Ruben Bain Jr. and Caleb Downs, and they lost Cam Jordan, who wasn't that good. So I'm inclined to go Ruben Bain Jr. here. You know, some say he's the edge one, but because of his like arm length, which is a being like literally the first percentile, which is like never heard of short before. People don't think he's gonna fall maybe, and he did have that accident, which seems to be more of like just an accident as opposed to like Jalen Carter type, stuff like that. But Ruben Bain Jr. There's a good chance he makes it out of this draft as the edge one here. And I think the Saints would be glad to have him. Now, number 9, my Kansas City Chiefs. This is like draft analysts and reporters. They have no idea what they're doing there. They're going O line. They're going um, corner. They're going all sort tight end even. Like I will just say it right now. I will be gone if we take freaking Kenyon Sadiq right here at 9. We have way more needs than that. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be linebacker. We got decent linebackers. We got no, we don't got Leo Chanel anymore. Unfortunately, we got Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil, and we'll see what the rookie Jeffrey Baza can do from last year. But my cat's like doing something. I don't really know what, but yeah. So I think the options here is gonna be hey again. I think the best thing to do here at 9, and some say, oh, you got questions on the offensive line. Mahomes coming off an ACL tear. Go O line here. Go offensive tackle as a back as some insurance, and that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. I want to be honest. Like, I saw this just one guy on a live stream on a show saying that yesterday. I was like, no, like you don't spend the highest pick ever in the Mahomes era on insurance, and it's not like Mahomes can't run after ACL tear. So I think I blabbered on too long. So I think the options here is gonna be Jordan Tyson or Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is that box safety. He started as a freshman in a Nick Saban defense, which tells you all about him. He's hell of instinctive. He's smart, and he's a great player. However, we're gonna go Jordan Tyson here. The Chiefs need wide receiver help. You know, I don't think Rashee Rice. I don't know if we're giving a second contract to Rashee Rice after what he's been doing. Xavier Worthy, we'll see what he can do. He was playing injured. I still believe in him. Maybe he can become that 1,000-yard receiver. But we still need a true one. And Jordan Tyson, without the injury concerns, is the true one. He is absolutely amazing. So now we come to number 10 to Cincinnati Bengals, which usually is an insanely hard spot to mock for because the needs they have don't align with what the board usually gives them. And here, they're incredibly lucky with two needs, Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. And this is a hard decision because, and they started two rookies last year, linebackers last year, which I believe they were dead last in PFF ranking as linebackers. They lost Geno Stone, which wasn't really a loss. So they could go Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles. I think Bengals fans will be happy with either one of them. And in this mock, we're gonna go ahead and go Sonny Styles. They don't really got anybody over there. I think safety is a less. I think safety is less important. Now the Miami Dolphins, they're basically saying we're going for the number 1 overall pick next year. That's exactly what they're going for. So you kind of just go best player available, honestly, and you can really go in any direction here. You can go offensive line, wide receiver if there was a good one that fell here. You can go Mansour Delane if Caleb Downs was gone, and that's my point. Caleb Downs is still here. We are gonna go Caleb Downs, even though he's not a premium position. The NFL is kind of shifting towards like 3 safety type of defenses to match up against the offense, and I think Caleb Downs would be a good selection there. So it's not like it's like in the past like decade or something where safety historically is not very important at all. It's more and getting more and more important now, and yeah, just look at Kyle Hamilton, who's kind of a slot corner to be honest, but still. Now Cowboys, this is also a great option here. Honestly, for any of these later teams, like they're picking right here, wide receiver going high, wide receiver run going high is good for them because they need defense. Okay, my cat's meowing. Give me a second. Okay, we're back. She wanted to go outside. So here I can go. We can go Dylan Thieneman if Mansour was gone. However, Mansour's here, so we're gonna easily go Mansour Delane, who really flashed last year at LSU, and you could also go Jermod McCoy, who ran pretty good actually, but I don't know. You do really want to take that injury concern. Now we've got the Rams here at 13. They need wide receiver, but the issue is the best ones are already gone. Not really. You just have Casey Concepcion, who is the return man they may need. He can return. That makes me seem like all he can do is return, but he can return well. He does have slight drop issues, which is fixable, but he can get open, and I would not be surprised if he walked out as the best player in this draft. Omar Cooper's kind of more of that rack guy, break tackle guy, and I think you. So you can go. I think the options are going to be Omar Cooper or Casey Concepcion, if the bell board fell this way. Let's take a. You can all. I don't know about safety, man. They really loaded up, so we're gonna go and grab Omar Cooper Jr. right here. 14 with the Baltimore Ravens. Everyone just goes Olavaga Ioane, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You bolster up that O line before you do anything else. Like, you need O line help, and I don't even know if the Ravens did anything to fix their interior offensive line, and they lost Tyler Linderbaum. Let me take a look. Where the it's BAL. What am I doing, bro? Yeah, I don't think they did anything really to. I mean, they got John Simpson, I guess, but their need they did. Daniel Falele is not the only like reason why their O line was bad. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 15. Is this a spot where you just go best player available because you're really gonna reach, like no matter what, like if they go needs, they're reaching. If they go so you might as well go with best player available. They're not 1 year away. So is this a Jermod McCoy spot? I've done this before, and this might be what I do again. I don't think you go O line here. They do need guard help. Spencer Fano could provide that guard help actually, but I don't think they got still got K Dot, and I think they don't need Kenyon Sadiq. We're gonna go Jermod McCoy here, who, his 2024 tape was as good as anybody else, but he had the ACL tear. And number 16 with the New York Jets. This now is a more harder spot because usually I would go Jordan Tyson, but he's gone now. So 16, I think this is another case of best player available where you just go Dylan Thieneman. Number 17, they need. This is pretty easily a a tackle spot right here, and great things happen for them. The tackle started dropping, so we're gonna go ahead and grab Spencer Fana, who some argue is a number one tackle, which I don't know. Now, usually at 18, this would be a just easily Dylan Thieneman. Just click the button. It's easy plug every single draft. However, he's gone this time around, so I'm gonna go with the other option, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, who had a really high number of forced fumbles. I forgot what it was exactly. Can I see? No, I can't see. Whatever. It's fine. And I don't think Vikings fans would be mad. They need that safety help. It was filled by Harrison Smith for like 10 years. Now he's old, and he's gonna retire soon. So yeah, number third for 19 for the Panthers. I've always done this. I'm gonna continue to do this. Kenyon Sadiq. They don't really have an amazing tight end. Kenyon Sadiq's gonna be that tight end. Get Bryce some more help. Now Dallas Cowboys. I'm thinking edge rusher here usually. Akeem Mesidor is like really, really old, and I don't know about that. He's 25. However, he would be the best pass rusher after the top three, obviously. Best ready pass rusher that is left available. Do we do that? They need pass rush help after trading away Micah Parsons. We can go Akeem Mesidor here. He would be that type of one contract type of player who's you just let go after one contract because he's like 29. I think it's fine. We go Akeem Mesidor here. Now the Steelers. I don't know why this thought just came to mind. I'll let me see here. Yeah. First, yeah. Okay. So for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you usually want to go wide receiver, but there's no wide receivers available. There's like, or KC Recepcion's still here. I forgot. So this is actually an easy decision. Just KC. He's a really good player. I'm really high on him. I was low on him at one point, but not anymore. Now the Chargers, they need D line help. They lost Odafe away. Do you go Keldrick Falk here, who's more of that run stopping type of player? Or do you go Cassius Howell or maybe TJ Parker? Or maybe Malachi Lawrence who can get home after the quarterback? Um, or you can go defensive interior, and I think we're gonna go ahead and grab. Let's take a look at the edge rushers. Do you go Keldrick Falk here? I think I'm gonna do it. He's really talented, great run stopper. You just gotta develop his pass rush abilities. Now number 13, 23, Howie's done it again. He gets Monroe Freeling. Um, they need tackle help. You don't know how long Lane Johnson's gonna be there, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him Monroe Freeling. 24, Cleveland Browns. I gave them Carnell Tate. So this is where you look at offensive line, and I'm high on Maxi Honachor. He's only played football for like I think 2 years or something. He's really athletic, so I think the sky is the ceiling for him, and that's why I'm gonna go Maxi Honachor. Now, the Chicago Bears, they kind of need that D tackles. So what I've always done is I'm just gonna go ahead and give them Kaden McDonald. Bills also need edge rusher. And I think TJ Parker would fit them well. He got good arms. He didn't have a great year last year. 2024 was definitely better, but that's still okay. I think that from what Clemson fans say, they think that it's the coaching staff's issue because literally everyone at Clemson had like a down year this year on defense. So I'm gonna go TJ Parker right here. At 27, I would go. They need that they need O line help as well. You don't know how long, and with Trent Williams on like contract dispute or something, I think there's. So I'm gonna go Blake Miller here. 28 with the Houston Texans. This is an interesting spot as well, and their O line is better. They need guard more than anything now, and I usually want to give them a D tackle, but you got Peter Woods. I forgot about him completely. Yeah, because usually he's higher on the board and he's this low, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and grab Peter Woods. Give him that defensive interior. What? A Colton? Okay, Peter Woods, a three straight Clemson player. Now, the Chiefs. Brett Veach presser. He kind of said, um, offensive line dropped off after round one, and he was kind of making it seem like we were gonna take one, and I personally am not a huge fan, but I guess I mean, I really hope if we take an offensive line at 9, I will. I don't know what I will do, bro. But I'm gonna. I guess we're gonna go Caden Proctor here, who fell. You know, 30, Miami Dolphins. Take good players. Take Cassius Howell here. I mean, Avion Terrell. Did no? I no. Wait a minute. I think I gave them. I'm an idiot. I think I gave them freaking. No, I gave him Caleb Downs. I thought I gave him Mansoor, but no, I didn't. I gave him Caleb Downs. It's fine. Um, 31 here, Patriots. Denzel Boston's here. I think they're gonna get AJ Brown from like post June 1st, so I don't think they're gonna go wide receiver here. They're gonna get AJ Brown to be. That's what I think. They're gonna grab Cassius Hell, an edge rusher who has 0th percentile arms, but hey, he's got moves. He can get after the quarterback. We'll see what he can do. Now at 32, we got the Seattle Seahawks, who lost like a good amount of players. So I like to go cornerback here, and it's going to be Colton Hood. So this is going to be my draft. Again, I don't really watch. I just go off of what uh, people say on the internet and like what people and the people's analysis of these players are. So again, I guess hey, this is going to be what I got right here, and yeah. I mean, I hope I can get like 6 players right. That's my goal. Because I think it's really hard to get mock drafts right, especially in this draft where there's only one good quarterback. So like everything else, like you don't really know. And yeah,